Welcome to the Massillon City Council meeting for Monday, February 3rd, 2020. We have in attendance with us tonight the following city officials: Mayor Kathy Catazero Perry, Safety Service Director Barb Sylvester, our interim law director Justin Richards, also from the law department Andrew Bartos, Chief Engineer David Kroc and Jason Popeil, Community Development Director Samantha Walters, Economic Development Director David Maley, Income Tax Budget Director Lori Boron, from the Health Department Terry Argent, Code Enforcement Officer Jimmy Johnson, and from the Engineers Department Greg McKee. Is there anyone that I missed? If I did, I apologize. Seeing none, on the walls to your left are agendas for anyone wishing to follow tonight's council meeting. Under number 5 on the agenda is where the public can speak on any item that appears on tonight's agenda. And then again, under number 17 is where the public can speak on any item that did not appear on tonight's agenda. I'd like to remind you, if you have a cell phone, please set it to mute, vibrate, or turn it off. Roll call.
Kramer.
Present.
Gregg.
Here.
Halter. Here. Hurricane.
Here.
Lewis.
Present.
Littman.
Here.
Lombardi.
Here.
Starrett.
Here.
And Barrett.
Here.
9 present.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Will President account for. Councilman Hurricane.
Please rise and join me for the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, are the minutes of the previous meeting transcribed and open for public view?
Yes, they are.
Are there any additions or corrections to be made?
No, there are not.
Then the minutes stand approved as written. We're number 5, where anyone from the audience can come forward and speak on any topic that does appear on tonight's agenda. If you wish to do so, please come forward, state your name, address, and topic you wish to discuss. There's a paper on the desk by the microphone. Please sign in as well. And please keep your comments to 3 minutes or less. Seeing none, we move into introductions of ordinances and resolutions. Ordinance number 14, 2020.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of Massillon, Ohio, to enter into an agreement with the Massillon Board of Health, the Massillon City Health Department, and the city of Massillon, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Gregg.
Thank you, Madam President. This ordinance deals with, is actually a formalization of the agreement that's already been in place for some time now. We went over it in work session, had some questions, and had them answered. Does any members of council have any further questions or comments? Seeing none, I'd like to move that we waive the rules requiring 3 readings and move this legislation number 14, 2020 forward for a vote.
Second by Councilman Starrett. Roll call for suspension.
Gregg.
Yes.
Halter.
Yes.
Hurricane.
Yes.
Lewis.
Yes.
Littman.
Yes.
Lombardi.
Yes.
Starrett.
Yes.
Barrett.
Yes.
And Kramer.
Yes.
9 yes for suspension.
And for passage?
Halter.
Yes.
Hurricane.
Yes.
Lewis.
Yes.
Littman.
Yes.
Lombardi.
Yes.
Starrett.
Yes.
Barrett.
Yes.
Kramer.
Yes.
And Gregg.
Yes.
9 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 14, 2020 is passed. Ordinance number 15, 2020.
An ordinance authorizing the Director of Public Service and Safety of the City of Massillon, Ohio, to advertise for and receive sealed bids and to enter into a contract with the lowest and best bidder upon the approval of the Board of Control for the 2020 target area streets resurfacing project and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Barrett?
Yes, we discussed this at the work session. Everyone has a list, I believe, of the target streets. And is there any questions at this time? If not, then I see none. I make a motion that we waive the rule requiring 3 readings and move this ordinance number 15/2020 up for a vote.
Second by Councilman Creamer. Roll call for suspension.
Kern Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Littman,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Starrett,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer, Gregg,
Yes.
and Halter.
Yes.
9 yes, 4 suspension.
And for passage.
Lewis,
Yes.
Littman,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Starrett,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Halter,
Yes.
and Kern Kane.
Yes.
9 yes, 4 passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 15/2020 is passed. Ordinance number 16/2020.
An ordinance authorizing the Director of Public Service and Safety of the City of Massillon, Ohio, to advertise for and receive sealed bids and to enter into a contract with the lowest and best bidder upon the approval of the Board of Control for the 2020 street resurfacing project and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Barrett?
Once again, this is first contract that's going to go out for bids, and the urgency was obvious. The sooner we get moving on this, the better chance we have of getting a good contract bid out and received in time to get the resurfacing started. So I would, if there's any further questions that at this time. Seeing none, I make a motion that we waive the rules requiring 3 readings. Break ordinance 15/2020, no, 16/2020 forward for vote.
Second by Councilwoman Halter. Roll call for suspension.
Littman,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Starrett,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Halter,
Yes.
Kern Kane,
Yes.
and Lewis.
Yes.
9 yes, 4 suspension.
And for passage.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Starrett,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer, Gregg,
Yes.
Halter,
Yes.
Kern Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
and Littman.
Yes.
9 yes, 4 passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 16/2020 is passed. Ordinance number 17/2020.
An ordinance making certain appropriations from the unappropriated balance of the 2202 insurance fund for the year ending December 31st, 2020, and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Lewis?
Yes, this ordinance will appropriate $7,500 to the insurance fund, and this is to pay for retiree life insurance and Cobra insurance. Are there any questions or discussion this evening? Seeing none, I make a motion that we suspend rules requiring 3 readings, bring ordinance number 17/2020 forward for a vote.
Second by Councilman Gregg. Roll call for suspension.
Starrett,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer, Gregg,
Yes.
Halter,
Yes.
Kern Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Littman,
Yes.
and Lombardi.
Yes.
9 yes, 4 suspension.
And for passage.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Halter,
Yes.
Kern Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Littman, Lombardi,
Yes.
and Barrett.
Yes.
9 yes, 4 passage.
Thank you.
You said fair, fair.
I told you that was going to be there. Okay, now we have 9 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 17/2020 has passed. Ordinance number 18/2020.
An ordinance making certain appropriations from the unappropriated balance of 1100 general fund for the year ending December 31st, 2020, and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Lewis?
Yes, this ordinance would appropriate $205,547. This is to cover the servicing contracts with related property that was formerly Affinity, as well as utilities costs. With this still puts us a little over $1 million to the good that we have from revenue that was the property has generated for the city. And this is anticipated to get us through April of 2020. Are there any questions?
Derek?
Yeah, I thought we were going to curtail, roll back, somehow limit our spending on this, because we're getting nowhere with it. We're just throwing money down the hole. Wasn't that what we discussed last week or the last couple of meetings?
It has been discussed as to what level we need to keep the hospital as far as the functioning property. But as far as the utilities, I would have to, as administration, I would assume many of these bills are from the past. Like many of our households, we get a bill after the usage, so I would assume we would not see any savings immediately, but more than welcome to ask one of the members of the administration to come forward if that would please Mr. Fair.
That'd be great.
Who would you like, Mr. Derek?
Whoever has the answer.
Thank you, Ms. Moore.
Good evening, everybody. Yes, we have discussed, we are starting to cut back on our spending at the hospital, but in that process, there are some bills that need to be paid, and there are some things that, this here, and there are also services and contracts that we have to give a time limit for, 30-day notice, so this is for whatever may come up within the next, through April, 4 months.
Thank you.
Councilman Lombardi?
So we should not be seeing any more of these types of expenditures until after April, that's what you're saying?
That is my plan. You never know what might happen on an emergency type basis, but that is the plan, and that's why we asked to go through April. Also, as we discussed before, I did not put anything in the 2020 budget for the hospital. Didn't want to tie that money up as we go through the process to minimize what we're doing there.
Anyone else? Councilman Lewis?
I would just also add, just to make sure we're all on the same page, we are still in discussions, and specifically, I believe, with the county auditor to see exactly where we land in the issue regarding the property taxes. We have filed to have some exemptions there, and there was I believe, an agreement that was brought with other parties that are interested, and that still hasn't all fleshed out, and that's not included in this. So until all that fleshes out, there could be the potential for another appropriation request if there is some obligation that the city has regarding that.
Councilman Lombardi?
So how long are we talking then, Mr. Lewis, as far as when that's going to get flushed out?
I don't know the timeline, but I mean, I hope that we meet soon. And then there's also the potential that it could be a credit. We could get credit, or we could have, no, whenever that all gets flushed out. We can ask the administration if they have a specific idea of when that timeline would be.
Thank you, Mr. Daly.
I do not have a timeline specific. The agreement was reached between the school boards, quorum in the city. Obviously, you guys passed that. They were, obviously, you probably read when the tax bills are going to be out a little late because they're transferring into a new system, the auditor's office. And I know, based on my conversations with prior law director, there's still a case with regards to the hospital for 17 down at the State Board of Tax Appeals. These were all kind of mixed in together. They were trying to finalize that case. I've had conversations with Auditor Harrell about this. I feel confident we will probably get this, but I'm not sure for the time it's going to be based on what you said. But we should, based on when it all flushes out, we should be getting some type of credit at some point in time. Even if we have to come up with some money initially, once they credit with the board values, we should be getting the money back. So that should be either credit or they'll cut us a check. So I do get more information. I'll let you know, but right now I'm not sure based on what they're doing with the auditor's office.
Thank you, Mr. Daly. Councilman Clifton?
Thank you, Madam President. I just wanted to remind everyone that we had received an email from Lori Boron giving us the overall revenue and expense over this past week. I know that was a request of last week, and according to her numbers, we are still profitable with this transaction to the point of over $1.3 million.
Anyone else? Councilman Lewis?
Yes, I make a motion that we suspend the rules, requiring three readings, bring ordinance number 18-2024 through.
Second by Councilman Gray. Roll call for suspension.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Halter,
Yes.
Hernkane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Littman,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Sterrett,
Yes.
and Barrett.
Yes.
9 yes for suspension.
And for passage.
Gray,
Yes.
Halter,
Yes.
Hernkane,
No.
Lewis,
Yes.
Littman,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Sterrett,
Yes.
Barrett,
No.
and Creamer.
Yes.
7 yes, 2 no.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 18-2020 has passed. Ordinance number 19-2020.
An ordinance making certain appropriations from the unappropriated balance of the 3104 vacant foreclosure deposit fund to cover expenses for the Housing Market Reinvestment Program, HMRP, for the year ending December 31st, 2020, and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Lewis?
Yes, this is an appropriation, as we discussed last week, that assists us in helping new homeowners within the city of Massillon, and it's appropriation for $18,930.50. This is money that is raised through banks that have caused foreclosures within the city. Are there any questions or discussions in the city, related to this evening? Seeing none, make a motion to suspend rules requiring three readings, being ordinance number 19-2024 for a vote.
Second by Councilman Sterrett. Roll call for suspension.
Halter,
Yes.
Hernkane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Littman,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Sterrett,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer, and Gray.
Yes.
9 yes for suspension.
And for passage.
Hernkane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Littman,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Sterrett,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
and Halter.
Yes.
9 yes for passage.
Thanks, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 19-2020 is passed. Resolution number 7-2020.
A resolution appointing Linda Littman to the Historic Preservation Commission as a council representative for the term expiring December 31st, 2020.
Councilman Littman?
Madam President, I'd like to abstain from that vote, please.
Thank you. Councilman Lewis?
Yes, are there any questions or discussion? Seeing none, I make a motion that we suspend the rules requiring three readings, being resolution number 7-2024 for
Second by Councilwoman Sterrett. Roll call for suspension.
And before that, Madam President, I'd like to say I did omit that this was through the committee of the whole on the agendas that were sent out Friday.
Thank
I
you.
apologize.
Okay.
Lewis,
yes.
Littman,
Abstain.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Sterrett,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Halter,
Yes.
and Hernkane.
Yes.
8 yes for suspension.
And for passage.
Lombard, I'm sorry. Littman,
Abstain.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Sterrett,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Halter,
Yes.
Hernkane,
Yes.
and Lewis.
Yes.
8 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Resolution number 7-2020 has passed. Congratulations, Councilman Littman. Number 7, any unfinished business?
No, ma'am.
Any petitions and general communications?
No, ma'am.
Any bills, accounts, and claims?
Yes, ma'am. We have a bill in the amount of $11.84 to Keller Office Furniture for office supplies. And we also have a bill in the amount of $890 for the posting code of our online codified ordinances.
Councilman Lewis,
Make a motion to pay the bills.
second by Councilwoman Lippman. Roll call.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Sterrett,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Halter,
Yes.
Kern King,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
and Lippman.
Yes.
9 yes to pay the bills.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Clerk will pay the bills and charge them to their proper accounts. Are there any reports from city officials?
We have the mayor's appointments for council approval. Ann Pulaski to the Health District Board for 4 years. Brock Herring to the Tax Incentive Review Committee for 2 years. And to the Historic Preservation Commission, Mandy Hahn, Brett Warner, Bob Richards, Jeff Dahl, Jonathan Carr, and Jeff Day, all for 1 year.
Did you say that needed the council's approval?
Normally, council approval was only required for the council appointment of the Historic Preservation Commission and anyone to the Park and Rec Board. But since I did receive this in annual form, I will have to put it on the agenda. So, and I'm not sure if this council needs to approve this or just being notified of it.
I would have to review the rules, but if the mayor's put it forth for council approval, I'd say it doesn't hurt to vote on it and double check the box.
Okay.
Roll call. Oh, any questions or comments first? Roll call.
Sterrett,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Halter,
Yes.
Kern King,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lippman,
Yes.
and Lombardi.
Yes.
9 yes to approve the mayor's appointments to all said committees.
All the mayor's appointments have been approved. Congratulations if any of you are here. For number 11, reports of committees, our next work session will be next Monday, the 10th, at 6:30. Councilman Littman?
Thank you, Madam President. I'd also like to remind everyone of the Police and Fire Committee. That will be held Monday, February 10th at 5:30. It'll be here in Chambers.
Councilman Sterrett?
Thank you, Madam President. Community Development will be planning on requesting a special meeting this Thursday. I'll ask council members if 6 or 6:30 would be better. Due to one piece of legislation that was brought before council in December that was never signed off on, and it is to enter into contract or receive sealed bids for the construction and redevelopment of Duncan Plaza. I believe this is, I've signed off on this, Ms. Halter has signed off on this, and would like to get this before council for discussion, so we can have discussion started on that on Thursday. And when we get to third reading, ordinance number 1 will be amended and bringing it back. Well, I'll be requesting an amendment, bringing it back to first reading, and I will ask that that be on the agenda for the special meeting on Thursday. Continue discussion with that. So community development will be requesting that meeting. I don't know if council members have an opinion whether 6 o'clock is too early, or do we want to just leave it at 6:30? Leave it at 6:30 according to Mr. Lewis. So that's all from community development.
So this Thursday, the 6th,
Yes.
6:30 special meeting.
Notices will be going out.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. On the calendar. Third reading ordinances and resolutions. Ordinance number 1, 2020.
An ordinance authorizing the Director of Public Service and Safety of the City of Massillon, Ohio, to enter into an agreement with Jonathan Patrick Picard Architect Incorporated for architectural services in the redevelopment of Duncan Plaza.
Councilman Sterrett?
Thank you, Madam President. As I was just discussing, I
Microphone, please.
do intend to amend this ordinance tonight to include the updated contract with Mr. Picard that Mr. Bailey is passing out right now. I know there were some questions about, that has come up again about the Duncan Plaza project. 1939 ordinance that had gotten some discussion, Mayor, if you would like to just come up and answer that question. I know that there was an ordinance out there that some people were stating may restrict this Dunkin' Plaza and have some deed restrictions on the property.
Yes, thank you, Councilwoman Sterrett. No, this is the 1939 minutes, and I believe what they're referring to, and Justin, feel free to come up if you like, is that they're just saying that it has to remain a park. It was a gift by Mary Duncan Upham, who donated the property, and Justin, if you want to finish my sentence, you're welcome to.
Sure. There was just one specificity that was actually voted down. Imagine we're going to have to go back 81 years, but there apparently was a union, or they're called the Blind Persons Commission, and they had a structure where they sold magazines, and essentially council voted for them not to be able to have that. One, I believe that action is vague and overbroad and thus not constitutional. We wouldn't be able to enforce that today. With that, the law department can certainly, for the next meeting in 2 weeks, we can vote for legislation to actually repeal this. Just so there's not, it really wouldn't be an encumbrance. We've done, our office has done a title search. We haven't found any encumbrances. This certainly didn't come up, but it is unnecessary and maybe misleading for those that may be opposed to the plan insurance.
Any questions for Mr. Richards? Councilman Barrett?
What does it say?
I can read it if you like.
Please.
Minutes of regular meeting of council held on April 3rd, 1939. Council met in regular session at 7:30 p.m. President Lisi and the chair. All members responded to roll call. The minutes of the previous meetings were read, and those were being no objections or corrections, same stood as read. Unfinished business, none. Let's get to the good part.
Is that the very bottom?
The deed stipulated that the property will revert to the heirs if, well, I guess in its entirety. To the members of the City Council, March 27, 1939. The Massillon Park Commission held a special meeting Saturday, March 25th, to consider the request of the Blind Commission of Ohio to place a portable building in City Hall Park for the purpose of selling magazines, candy, etc. The members of the Park Commission regret that they find it impossible to grant this request because of restrictions in the deed of gift by which Miss Mary Duncan Upham donated this property to Massillon. The deed stipulated that the property will revert to the heirs if it is used for any other purpose than to beautify the city of Massillon. The heir, Miss F.W. Arnold, expressed a desire to the members of the Park Commission that they adhere strictly to the terms of the deed and keep the City Hall Park for all times a beauty spot to be used only as a park. And that's essentially it.
Thank you.
Councilman Sterrett?
And even due to the fact that despite the fact that we think this is overly broad and unenforceable, in your opinion as law director, would the renaissance of Duncan Plaza in any way, shape, or form be transforming Duncan Plaza to anything other than a park?
No. And again, when you get into ideas conceptually of beauty and beautifying, certainly what one person decides is beautiful, so no, that it would still completely conform entirely with the original restrictions set out for people.
Ms. Kramer would also like me to ask, since she can't speak very well, even the plan proposed by by Judge Elam, would that would still be considered a park, correct?
I believe Mr. Elam was proposing something. No, I suppose that would, both of them would not be affected by this ordinance. And like I said, with little to no doubt in 7 to 9 votes, we can get rid of it if it's that much of a problem.
Any other questions?
Seeing none at this time, we do have the new contract before us. I want council members to take a look at it. Mayor, do you have something? I would ask if we could have the mayor come up.
Thank you. We just wanted to let council know that you've received this now, once when John Picard presented and once when we presented. So you've had this now twice. Prior to the Andrea leaving, she said she would like it to be added to the ordinance so that if there's any problem in the future, the contract is right there for you to look at and it cannot be challenged. And so that's why we're adding this at this time.
Mayor, have there been any changes in the proposal?
John Picard, would you come up and speak to that? Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, no, there really haven't been any changes to the proposal. Our original estimate was $88,000 for our architectural and engineering services for the project. We released our proposal 3 or 4 times, just in the way of efficiency, quite honestly. The very last time our proposal went up by $500 because one of my consultants is very busy and he asked for a little extra money on his part. So the contract that's in front of you is for $88,500, and that is the only change that's happened in the last 2 years to this contract and this proposal.
And is this a one and done, or is there a phase 2 in this?
No, this is the only proposal there is. Yeah, this finishes the project.
So there will be no ice skating pond?
Yeah,
No,
that would come later.
Okay.
And so we've eliminated that at this time with this plan. That's going to be where it's what's my term? Who has the term for it? It's seasonal. So you can bring it out in the winter, but we've taken that out of the plan for right now so that we can get the price down and be able to move forward. And then we can always add that. I think it's like $65,000.
That's correct.
We can always add that
Right.
at a later time. The other thing I wanted to just clarify, there is legislation that Megan spoke about earlier that we're going to add at the special meeting Thursday to go out to bid and enter into contract. And so that is another piece, not pertaining to this, but to the entire project.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Seeing no further discussion at this point, I would ask that this ordinance be amended to add the current contract between the city of Massillon and John Patrick Picard. I would call it attachment A, or attachment A. I would ask that that be amended to be added to ordinance number 1-2020.
Second by Councilman Lewis. Roll call.
Barrett,
No.
Kramer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Halter,
Yes.
Hernkang,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Littman,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
and Sterrett.
Yes.
8 yes, 1 no to amend ordinance number 1-2020 to reflect the amended Exhibit A.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 1-2020 has been amended. Councilwoman Starrett.
At this point, I would just ask that we give it first reading.
Thank you. The amended ordinance number 1-2020 has received first reading. Ordinance number 2-2020.
An ordinance amending section 1151.02 of the Massillon Code of 1985 rezoning a certain tract of land from O-1 office to R-1, one family residential, and declaring an emergency.
Councilwoman Starrett.
Thank you, Madam President. There will be a public hearing being held in regards to this ordinance on February 24th at 6 p.m. here in Council Chambers. Due to that, I will be asking tonight to table this ordinance until March 2nd of 2020. Before I make that motion, is there any discussion on our concerns? Again, that meeting will be February 24th at 6 p.m. At this point, I would make a motion that we table ordinance number 2-2020 until March 2nd, 2020 meeting.
Second by Councilman Halter. Roll call.
Kramer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Halter,
Yes.
Kern King,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Littman,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Sterrett,
Yes.
and Perry.
Yes.
9 yes to table ordinance number 2-2020 until March 2nd, 2020.
Thank you. Ordinance number 2, 2020 has been tabled until March 2nd, 2020. Ordinance number 3, 2020.
An ordinance authorizing the city of Massillon, Ohio to accept the estimated proposal submitted by Edward Elam for the repairs and improvements of Duncan Plaza.
Councilman Sterrett?
Thank you, Madam President. At this point, I will be asking that this ordinance be tabled indefinitely. I do have some concerns with the generalities of the ordinance before us. There are no financials, no architectural plans, no engineering plans, so it is concerning to me to vote on this without further planning or information in front of City Council at this point. Is there any discussion of this ordinance at this time? Seeing none, I would ask that ordinance number 3-2020 be tabled indefinitely.
Second by Councilman Lewis. Roll call.
Gregg,
Yes.
Halter,
Yes.
Kern King,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Littman,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Sterrett,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer.
Yes.
9 yes to table ordinance number 3-2020 indefinitely.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 3, 2020 has been tabled indefinitely. Ordinance number 7, 2020.
An ordinance making certain appropriations of the unappropriated balance of the 1100 general fund for the city's share of the redevelopment of Duncan Plaza for the year ending December 31st, 2020, and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Lewis?
Yes, considering that no plan has yet been accepted or decided upon by this body, I am going to request that we table this by at least 2 weeks. So I make a motion that we table ordinance number 7-2020 until February 17th, 2020.
Second by Councilman Sterrett. Roll call.
Correction, February 18th, February 17th.
Oh,
is
18th,
President's
sorry.
Day.
Correct.
Halter,
Yes.
Kern King,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Littman,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Sterrett,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
and Gregg.
Yes.
9 yes to table ordinance number 7-2020 until February 18th, 2020.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 7, 2020 has been tabled till February 18, 2020. Second reading ordinances and resolutions. Ordinance number 8, 2020.
An ordinance amending chapter 521, health, safety, and sanitation of the codified ordinances of the city of Massillon, Ohio by repealing ordinance number 521.04, sidewalk obstruction, damage, or injury, and enacting an amended section of amended ordinance 521.04, sidewalk obstructions, damage, or injury, and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Halton.
Second reading.
Thank you. Ordinance number 8, 2020 has received second reading. Ordinance number 11, 2020.
An ordinance authorizing the Director of Public Service and Safety of the City of Massillon, Ohio, to exercise the option to renew the engineering contract with OHM Advisors for the years 2020, 2021, and 2022, and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Lewis.
Second reading.
Thank you. Ordinance number 11, 2020 has received second reading. Resolution number 1, 2020.
A resolution appointing Frank Monaco and David Lundquist to the local board of tax review created under codified ordinance 181.18.
Councilman Lewis.
Yes, we did hear from one of the requested appointments last week.
by Councilman Gray. Roll call for suspension.
Kern King,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Littman,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Starrett,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
and Halter.
Yes.
9 yes for suspension.
And for passage.
Lewis,
Yes.
Littman,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Starrett,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Halter,
Yes.
and Kern King.
Yes.
9 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Resolution number 1, 2020 has passed. Is there any new miscellaneous business? Seeing none, with number 17 on the agenda, where anyone from the audience may come forward and speak on any topic that did not appear on tonight's agenda. If you wish to do so, please state your name, address, topic you wish to discuss. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes, and before you be seated, please sign a paper.
Hi, Madam President, and all everybody here in attendance tonight. Justin, my mom loves you on the show, okay, she watches. Okay, Justin. I said, Mom, that's Justin. Okay, it's Justin. All right, I want to talk tonight, here just a little bit here. Getting to what these, yes.
Your name.
L.J. DeLuca, Larry Joseph DeLuca, 2954 Veterans Boulevard, Southeast, Massillon, Ohio. I don't know why I forget this all the time. But anyhow, I want to mention about the closure of the Smoke the Burger that happened. I used to patronize this, and I supported it. A lot of my friends did too. But the mayor there was a West Stark breakfast, and I think, Mayor, you were in attendance there. And I don't know if you made this comment there, but the mayor, Kathy Kazarapari, says if we don't patronize these businesses that are going here in Massillon, they're going to close, and everybody wants to blame the mayor. I think I'm not quoting you exactly, but I'm kind of paraphrasing here. But I think you said you're tired of getting phone calls at the office, Mayor Massillon, in regard to why Smoke the Burger closed. Okay, and you said if we don't patronize these businesses and gift or food, they're going to close. And that's exactly what happened, Dave. You're shaking your head, but I can take you right now, Dave, and they're not open. Smoke the Burger is not open. I know the owners personally. My question is here, you didn't promote these businesses too, and if the city of Massillon doesn't do that, we have the same result. That's not what the main thing, but that would be one of my hot buttons here. Okay, I just want to know, I heard everybody talk today about Affinity Medical Center. It's the most I ever heard about it, okay? I just want to know when Mayor Kathy Kazarapari is going to start talking about this more, and we're going to get done with this Affinity Medical Center once and for all. It seems like the mayor, when she goes to talk, we have 4 phases of the VA. Okay, well that's great, but I want to forget about that. I want to forget about the VA now. I want to go further. I want us to know what our plans are. I've been hearing a little bit tonight about the Affinity Medical Center from some of you, but it's not what enough. We got cost here. We all know Jane Ferraro, our auditor. She won an award for having real cost and doing real good. And I like Jane. Okay, her total here is, everybody to know this, right now, $53,516.01 for Affinity Medical Center. It was December 2019, everybody in Massillon. That includes utilities, services, and security. And I made a request from Bill Perini. It took a while to get it, but I did get it. I'm just thinking, are we throwing this in the deep woods, Massillon? Are we throwing Affinity Medical Center, and I don't mean this to be in a bad way, are we going through the deep woods and we're pushing back the brush, the brush and the trees, and my friend Dave, and we're going through the trees. And all of a sudden we come out to a big opening. In that big opening, guess what's there, Massillon, Ohio residents? I'll tell you what's there. Affinity Medical Center, in our cost that I just mentioned for $53,000, okay? Or do we go back through the woods and come back out to Mayor Kathy Kazarapari's project and John Picard's of a redo of Massillon, a redo of the Duncan Plaza? I say that for our fine citizens in Massillon, let's focus on right now Affinity Medical Center and the cost, because I'll tell you what, it's just getting way out of hand. I'm tired about hearing about the 4 phases that the mayor is trying to tout. I want to hear more details, a lot of other people do, and we're not hearing that. I mean, this would make my grandmother's blood pressure raise, and she was, you know, for what we got going on here. It really would make her go to the Altman Massillon ER in summation with this. I asked the Altman vice president, the same one that the mayor asked, Ms. Donato, to be my guest and speak at a work session, which I already got approval, so I'd like her to come here and tell us what we have and don't have at our Altman ER in Massillon, because I know we don't have anything going on right now with Affinity Medical Center. And Mayor, I'm a little disgusted about what we got going on downtown Massillon. You said you built this streetscape that you touted so good. I talked to all the business owners, and it's not bringing the millennials in. Just the facts, I'm just saying.
30 seconds, Mr. Joseph.
Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none, Councilman Hornbeck,
I make a motion to adjourn.
second by Councilwoman